Hi, it's Steve here from Purple Running Wales, and I'm in Littlehaven, Pembrokeshire today for the Endurancelife Pembrokeshire Coastal Trail Race. There's 4 distances: 10k, half marathon, full marathon and an ultra 34 miles, and I'm doing the half marathon today. So I'm just walking down to where the start is going to be, and looking forward to this. The weather is okay at the moment. It's quite bright and sunny, but it's particularly windy. It's very windy indeed, and when we get onto the top of the cliffs, it's going to be blowing to 40-50 mile an hour, I think, up there. So you're gonna have to be careful, but it's going to be good. At least the rain has stopped. We had some driving rain last night with the wind, and the wind was absolutely howling. But, anyway, let's get to the start, and we'll catch you in a bit. Like the tide's been in and is on its way out now, but as you can see, it's a pretty rough sea out there. Pretty rough Atlantic Ocean.
Okay, great stuff. Join the guys in the countdown from 10 and 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Just refueling at a checkpoint here. Oh, some jelly babies and a few crisps and okay, so 13 miles now, and I'm really suffering from cramp in my left calf. I can't get back into a run at all. As soon as I do, it just cramps up, and then the other calf wants to join in. Oh, just letting these runners go by. So I'm just trying to power walk it now. The last 2 miles, and it's really difficult along this just running along this rut that's only like 12 inches wide at the most. It's really difficult trying to keep your balance. Oh man, I have never been so glad to see that sign. 1 mile to go. Oh. That must be one of the last ones, I don't care. It's turned out nice now. Sun's shining. We just had that one spell of rain. I think it was at about 11.5 miles, where this rain shower came through. Well, there was hail in it as well, and the winds must have been gusting 50-60 mile an hour. Oh, it was just mad. So then, I still keep trying to burst into a trot, and I still keep getting cramp. So never mind. 1,760 yards to go. Woohoo! Thank you. Alright. Give him a tip. Alright. So yeah. Okay.
Well, that was a well-organised race. Hats off to the organisers for that. It all seemed to go pretty smoothly from my perspective. The ultramarathon runners went off first, so they had an earlier start time, and then the marathon runners again, they went off next. Half marathon and then 10k. So when they were using the village hall in the village of Littlehaven for registration and to pick up your race number and your chip, and so they were getting people into, there was just mainly the half marathon and 10k people there by this time, because the marathon and ultras had already gone, so they were just making sure that those people going into the village hall were only the half marathon people at the time when I was there for my race. So that was good, that was well organised, the marshals had that sussed. That was good. The weather was totally rubbish on the Friday night. It was howling gale. I was in a B&B in Marlois, and it was just, you could hear the wind outside and the rain beating on the windows. But by the next morning, okay, it was still windy, although not quite as bad. and the rain had stopped, the sun had come out, but it was pretty chilly. And I made the decision when I went outside I wasn't going to wear shorts. It was just too flipping cold. So fortunately I'd brought some leggings with me, some tights, so I decided to wear those. And I think that was probably the right decision, because I'm a bit of a wuss when it comes to the cold. I don't like the cold at all. So that was good. The wind was still tough though, particularly once it got up onto the tops of the cliffs, and we headed round the headland, or the first headland, so we changed direction, heading more sort of south westerly, or more westerly, and then it was really coming from the side, and you only have that narrow gully. It's like a wheel ridge, about 10 to 12 inches, 30 centimeters at the most, wide to run in, and the wind was constantly blowing you, or blowing me, off that ridge. It was really difficult, and it was using energy to try and and keep on the path, you know, the energy that I really didn't want to burn. Consequently, when I got to 11 miles and I started feeling a bit tired, and by 13 miles, yeah, I was really feeling it, and that's when, you know, my cramp had really started setting in on my left calf. I was getting some twinges on the right, but mostly on the left, and so I went down to a power walk, and as soon as I tried to move off again get into a trot, then the cramp came back, and I think it was possibly lactic acid build-up from the hills. My calves were just tired, which has shown me I need to do a bit of strength work as well on the quads, because my quads were really feeling it on some of the uphill stretches. So if I'm going to do another one of these races, then I really need to get out a couple of months beforehand and go out and do some hill reps. And talking about doing other races as well, there is an Endurancelife Gower in November, same distances, 10k, half marathon, marathon, and ultra marathon. In this case, the half marathon distance is 14 miles, not the 15 that this race was. I have to say the races, I think, are a bit on the expensive side. I mean, normally a road race you'll look to pay about £32. This is £44, so it's pretty expensive. So if I'm going to do some of these, I'm not going to be doing many of them. But I might just do this one. It's in November, and it's I think we must have to get dropped off by coach, because by bus, because looking at the map of it, we start off at the far side of Rosilly. If any of you know Rosilly is a beautiful golden beach. It's got to be a couple of miles long easily. And at the sort of northern end of it, the race starts, and then it climbs steeply up to the top of the hill that overlooks the beach, and then you come down the other side, and then from there it meanders its way to Oxwich, which is the finish. So we must get bussed out to Rosilly, I'm assuming, and then finish at Oxwich, because otherwise it's a 14-mile walk back to the car. So I don't think that's going to be the case. So but I might just have a look at doing that one, but I need to do some hills training, strengthen those quads, because the hill at Rosilly is right at the beginning of the race, and then after that, from the elevation graph, it looks like it can relax a bit from there. But I quite fancy doing that one, so we'll see. Anyway, that's enough of me going on about the race. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have enjoyed it, then please like, share and subscribe to my channel, and that way I know that you come back for more. So we will see you in another week or so, where I've got the Newport 10K. Last year I ran the marathon, and this year I decided I was going to take it a bit easier and just do the 10K. So we'll see you in probably about a week's time with a report on that race. Take care and happy running.